Hi there, I'm Craig from Ottawa Swordplay, and I've got Marla here with me.
Hello.
And today we're going to be talking about the fifth winding. And in the future, I'll do a video where we talk about the numbering system and the different kinds of windings that there are. Today we're only really going to be talking about the fifth winding. And the fifth winding is a particular one where I'm in the board guard and I'm pushing my opponent's sword out of the way. All windings are situations where we are at the bind and we are moving our sword to gain new leverage and positioning against our opponent. That's all you really need to know in general about windings. We're going to talk specifically about the fifth winding. And so the fifth winding normally will happen when I have done a strike and the other person has done a counter strike to come to the bind, or vice versa. But in our usual novice lessons, our normal setup is that I've done a strike, my opponent does their counter strike, and then when they shoot their point long to me, they're threatening me here and containing the space. So now I'm going to do the fifth winding. But I can do it any time that I'm at the bind, and my pal here doesn't have the ability to shoot the point long at me, so we're just going to go from here. Now, doing a fifth winding requires doing a transition into the thumb grip. We have a video on that. If you haven't watched it, you should go back and watch that now before we move on. But basically what I'm going to do from the bind, I don't have control of the space between me and the other person. They've got strong leverage on my sword. So I'm going to turn into the thumb grip and push a little bit to my left, but I'm going to keep my point pointed more or less at their face as I do this. I might move it a little bit over to their right shoulder. So it's just this rotation. Now, the reason why this gives us leverage is that there's actually several reasons why this gives us leverage. And it's important to understand that that's the goal here, is to change our position. So when we've come to the bind, normally the other person's sword will be a little bit on top of ours. Or when we want to do the fifth winding, it's because of that. They'll also have their edge, which the Pell doesn't have, on my flat. And they may also have a better position in terms of strong and weak, although that's less of a thing. So as I turn into the thumb grip, first of all, the rotation here slices along their blade, and that puts my edge onto their flat, and then the rotation also puts my sword on top of theirs. So those are the leverages that I'm looking for. The biggest mistake people make when they're doing the fifth winding is pushing too far or too hard. We want to maintain our threat the whole way through. If I wind and push over like this, I'm leaving myself open on this side, and I don't want to do that. Now, we can do the fifth winding standing where we are, but there is some footwork that is helpful, and that is our gather step. And our gather step is two little quarter circles, like so that I'm stepping a bit to my left and a bit forward. So I've come to the bind, and I want to do my winding. As I start to turn my sword, I'm going to lift my back foot, and then I'm going to shift forward and to my left. My left foot should not pass my right foot. And then, with my right foot, I'm going to step closer in, and again, a little bit further to my left. By stepping into my left, I'm shortening the distance I need to reach them. I'm also using the structure of my whole body in that step to add to the power of this winding, and that gives me yet another bit of leverage to put on their sword. So that's a lot of information. That's the fifth winding. Fortunately, all of the other windings work pretty much the same way. So the rest of them become easy once you understand how to do any of them. That's it for today. Thank you very much.